You're listening to Living Podcariously, bringing you real men's perspectives, unfiltered, unapologetic, and uncensored. Recorded live in the Living Podcariously studio in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida.
All right.
Welcome to Living Podcast.
Living Podcariously. Welcome.
It's gonna be a good night.
Welcome to our show. To our show. It's another show of Living Podcariously.
That was beautiful. It was fun. It was beautiful.
And welcome to Living Podcariously.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
What's up, guys? We have a full studio tonight. Sitting in studio is yours truly. My name is Adam. Sitting over across from me in a very cool SpaceX veterans shirt.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
They gave us all to all the veterans. They give us all these cool shirts.
That's nice. It looks good.
Oh, stop. No, it's fun. I'm Tack. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, Tack. How about you?
I'm fantastic over there in Lady Chase.
Hi, this is Andrea Joy. It
Hi,
looks like
Andrea.
a claw or like a gator mouth, like that's going to
What?
bite something.
That's a rocket.
It's a
I know,
rocket.
but from where I am, my eyes are kind of crossing with the mic in my face, so it looks like a monster claw, like
She's talking about the white of the rocket exhaust. Looks like a
down.
lower.
Oh, down here.
See the
Looks like a
teeth?
big
Oh, it's
gator's
going
mouth.
to bite my cock?
He's like, no, he's
No, it's
biting up.
biting upwards towards your nipples.
Oh, no.
All right, fourth mic tonight.
Fourth mic over there in the comfy chair.
In the comfy chair,
I'm
it's Mr. Wilson.
Aw, Mr. Wilson.
And hanging out with us tonight, we got
Jimmy Klein.
Jimmy, Fofini, banana, fana, Fofini, me, my, mo, mini, Jimmy.
It's so funny, Google. We just tried that with Google, and Google bleeps out when you do the name game with Chuck. It is fucking hilarious.
I think we should start doing the name game with every guest we have from now on.
Boom.
All right, let's round table that one at a later date.
It's going to happen.
Jimmy Klein is with Jimmy Klein Photography, but also just hosted a Twisted 10 episode. The cat just came running through the room. Jimmy just hosted a Twisted 10 episode with Tack. You guys did it together and held hands the whole time. That was awesome.
whole time.
Super
Sat on my
sweet.
lap.
So adorable.
Yes, and Jimmy will soon have a podcast out with his wife here soon.
That's going to be even more
Definitely, yeah.
adorable.
She has like a real voice for it.
Hell
you know what I'm
yes.
saying?
You
Like,
guys sound
She
great.
does, man. She has a fantastic voice.
Yeah, the two of you guys sound really good together.
You get her doing voiceover work. You need to get his wife doing some
Yeah.
voiceover work. Get her some work, man, because she's
But
good.
I need work,
I know you need work too.
so
Yeah,
he has to do me first, and then he can do her
Do
next.
you first.
Oh yeah, Andrea just got paid her first official voiceover
Oh, really?
work.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, she
Right
did
on.
it for Matthew Passy for one of his clients.
Awesome.
Podcast Discovery Center plug right there for you.
There you go.
But hey, before we get into the show, we want to throw a little bit of love. This is a very, very sad topic. We're not going to spend a lot of time. It's not going to be depressing here on the show. However, it is a sad topic. But good friends of the show, good friends of our show, as well as guest hosts of the Twisted 10 and here in the recent past, are Rocky Soka with What's the Fuss podcast and his co-host Bill Hurricane Helveston. Just after Thanksgiving, it was really sad, but unfortunately Bill passed away. So what they're doing is they're raising some money over at the What's the Fuss podcast for the funeral costs. There's a GoFundMe set up out there as well. And their goal is 10,000 and they're almost there. They're at like 7,200. So if you have a little bit of extra to be able to spend, especially around the holidays, please hook our boys up over at the What's the Fuss podcast. It'll be in the show notes of this episode as well as over on their website as well. So go check out What's the Fuss's podcast and Facebook page and all that shit. They just did an episode where they had in one of the drummers from Billy Helverston's band, and they recapped a lot of old cool stories and just shot the shit. And it's really cool. So go check those guys out.
So they're still recording?
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they just did their first episode after Billy's passing. It's tragic. It's hard to talk about. It's really hard for me because I'm really uncomfortable with death. But Billy took his own life. And that's always something that's super tragic to hear. And we encourage any of our listeners, if you're having problems, if you're having, doubts or depression or what have you, or if you know somebody that's suffering through that, reach out to them, talk to them, touch base with them. Do one of us have the number?
I got it pulled up too. If you don't want to talk to anybody that you know, call a stranger. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It's 24 hours a day. There's always somebody there. Somebody will answer the phone. Their number is 1-800-273-8255. And even further, I didn't know about this. If you don't want to talk to somebody, they have an online chat. There's also 24 hours a day.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can even more anonymously get things off your chest.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It is cool.
So yeah, it's a tough situation. We're going to play a bonus little bit of a clip here on the episode, maybe during the break, of when we had Billy and Rocky here in studio with us back when they sat in for Living Podcariously after Rocky hosted one of his Twisted Tens. So look, it's as sad as it was. It's a horrible tragedy. It's a big, depressing thing to talk about, but let's try to remember some of the positives. Billy was an amazing guy. He had literally the most contagious laugh I have ever heard in my life.
His laugh was awesome.
Right.
So anybody who's listened to What's the Fuss or has listened to Central Florida podcasts that he's been guesting on, when you hear it, you definitely know you've heard it before. It is one of those kinds of laughs. So Rocky, we love you guys. Steve Etchie, the other host on that show, we're sorry for you guys' loss, and obviously for the family of Billy. It's a tough thing to go through, and we got nothing but love. So if our listeners have a little bit of extra to give, $10 even, please go help them out with their funeral costs for Billy. Because that's all going right to his sister. That's not going to the What's the Fuss show or anything. That's going right to Billy's sister. So
I think they're also doing T-shirt sales too, aren't they? Where 100% of it's going to Billy's sister.
You got it. Yeah. What's the Fuss podcast T-shirts, and it's great. Their shirt says, "What's the Fuss podcast?" Because kids and drugs and guns and stuff, or something like that. It's fucking great. It's awesome. But anyway, all right, enough about that. Billy, Rocky, we're sorry for your loss, and we're here for you, buddy. If there's anything that this show or our listeners can ever do for you, then just let us know.
And Billy, you will be missed.
You know what we didn't do on Living Podcariously? We did it on Twisted 10. Talk a little bit real quick about What's the Fuss. We didn't actually intro it, I don't think, did we?
Oh, well, I mean,
No.
it's a podcast I do in Orlando with my two best friends, Steve Etchie and who's here right now, Billy Helveston, who's the funniest person I know. These guys are... we started this over a year ago.
Yeah.
And it was basically... It was just a comedy show... And we sometimes we do serious stuff, sometimes we haven't. We've covered some. We were here for some big events here in Orlando, and we were able to cover those basically live. And that I think kind of is why people were immediately drawn to us, is because there was no lying, no editing, no anything, and we just we play whatever music we want to play.
Yeah,
we say whatever the fuck we want to say.
Show.
Yeah, and it was it's just it's a perfect little Beastie Boys of podcasting, if you will.
It's a good reference, yeah.
Scotch and Good Conversations, Peter coined us the bad boys of podcasting or some shit like that.
Really?
Yeah.
It was weird, and at first I was like, that's dumb.
We get to be like the Motley Crew.
Yeah, but Tom and Dan have helped us out. Angel from the Monsters in the Morning has helped us out. We've had a lot of good guests on, including, you guys helping us out like this is huge. We've basically we've been blessed to kind of fall into this little Orlando group at the time that we did.
That's awesome.
And we did a lot of charity work, which I think helped us out in the beginning because we were all ragtag punk kids and just turned out to be comedians, sort of, but not really comedians like stand-up. Podcasters.
Three dudes who can have a good time together.
Yeah.
Get a good chuckle out of each other.
I think there's a channel dedicated for some stuff like that.
I think it's called Teddy Bears.
That sounds adorable.
All right, our first question comes from Elizabeth in Florida. Hi, everyone. My boyfriend and I have been together for 4 years.
I'm 21 and he just turned 27. He is very nice to me and I know he loves me. He does a lot for me even though I could do it all for myself. The first year of our relationship, we would have intercourse every day and he would give me a lot of foreplay and didn't ask for much in return.
Of course they did. You were 17.
In the last 3 years, he's been getting so lazy and selfish. All he wants is for me to give him oral or a quickie whenever he wants it. He never wants to give me anything anymore. He doesn't even like to make out. He just wants to get it over with. We both have plenty of free time that we spend together doing nothing, so not having the time isn't the issue. I am very clean and I am very attractive, so that's not the issue either. I bring it up to him, but
Very
he
modest,
just brushes
too.
it off.
Yeah.
All he ever wants is oral.
Good thing she's not conceited.
Yeah, maybe it's that nasty ass attitude.
Yeah, I hate this because some of these emails come in and I don't want to bash on the emailer because that's our listener. However, sometimes the shoe
I
fits.
think this boils down to complacency is all.
Spot
it is.
on.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
you're getting older, you know. That's why you need shows like Married with Children to be
Yeah.
out on the air.
I mean, it seems like you're 21, and for the last 3 years he wasn't doing it. So since you've been legal, he's lost interest. You're fucking a pedophile. You should report him to the authorities because he's probably fucking somebody else who's a minor.
You saw me with the fingers out. I did the math on that. He was 23 when she was 17 in the state of Florida. If that's where she's from,
Still legal.
is legal.
Yep.
So she's 23. So we can assume she's uninterested.
No, she's
She's
21.
21.
She's 21. Oh,
They were
fuck.
she was 17 when they started dating.
He's only 27 though.
But
so
I
that's
would,
not
I would have
huge.
to say
That's not bad.
I'd say honestly that yeah.
Well, he's almost 30. He's all done fucking.
tax correct.
That's not the issue.
It's complacency, probably.
He only
Yeah.
wants oral
He's just
It's 'cause
well,
it's easy.
No, or a
That's
quickie.
the good
or a
hole.
quickie.
or a quickie.
The good hole.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I mean, if you can't entice him to go further than that, then you might, maybe you want to look somewhere else.
Let's
I
try
don't know.
starting. Let's try starting her off with something simple. Because a lot of people have issues with communication.
Just stick your finger up his butt next time. That'll surprise him. That might get it going.
She needs to talk.
Impolite.
She said I bring it up to him and he just brushes it off.
No, you have to fuck your girlfriend.
Yeah,
you have
I
to fuck
agree. Every
your
once in a
girlfriend.
while, you just
yeah,
got to
but the thing
drop
is,
it down on
For the
him.
last 3 years, she's let him not. And
Yeah.
you're kind of in a hole you dug
This
yourself
is
on.
really important. Just like you know how sometimes stuff is taken care of for you as a guy because girls are really sweet. You have to fuck them for that.
Well, yeah, you gotta give it back.
They need the same thing as you. Flowers are very important. Ask them how their fucking day is and fuck them
Just
for
be
God's
polite.
sakes.
Just be polite.
It's really, really important, and it will screw your relationship up. It's just like, being a disgruntled dude, except for dudes are more whiny about it. And
Yeah.
girls
Think
are
about how- yeah.
a little bit more meticulous in how they think about
how much
getting
of
back at you for
think
this
about
stuff.
how much of an asshole you are when you haven't come.
I've
in a
never
while.
written a fucking email about it.
That's
Think
true.
about that.
I'll tell you
I'm
that.
such a dick when I haven't, shot one off in a while. I'm an asshole. So like,
Would you
come
email
on? You
your
got to
favorite-
give it back to the lady.
Would you email your
Help her
favorite
out.
podcast?
She's helping you out.
Would you email into the podcast if you were so frustrated about not coming? I might. I'll be honest. I
What,
might.
what was her name?
Elizabeth.
I like it.
Elizabeth?
Elizabeth
Holly?
texting me.
Oh, tag. No, I'm just
The
kidding. Sorry.
tactician.
My husband took a promotion at work to get into management. I didn't understand why he needed to take it because he gets the jobs that no one else wants and is constantly away from home for long periods of time.
All right.
This has put a strain on our marriage and our sex life. When I tried to talk to him about it, he told me to take up a ceramic class or something to take this
Genius.
Go learn how to basket weave.
Yeah.
way. Last
This
week,
dude is a lawyer or something.
it changes. Last week, I went to a wine tasting at a local winery.
All right.
I met a very nice couple, and we sat and chatted for a long time. Before we said our goodbyes, we exchanged emails and phone numbers because we live very close to one another.
She's the unicorn.
During the week, we started emailing back and forth, and that led to texting.
I'm already turned on.
During
Me
our
too.
texting, she started asking me personal questions, and I started confiding in her about what was going on with my sex
This
life.
is a girl that she just met texting to this
Yeah,
girl.
is
From
it
the
the
couple.
couple?
All right.
The couple, they're both
It's the girl from the
signed.
couple.
Oh man.
Signed
I've
both.
I've definitely seen these types of movies.
Yeah.
The
Keep going.
The texting got pretty heated that night.
I bet it did.
And
Yeah.
the next.
Yeah.
She told me they are swingers and have been involved with married women many times. They asked me to come over during the week for dinner and drinks.
Did she do it?
She even told me they smoke pot.
Whoa, that's where I draw the line.
That's too far.
That is
I
where
told
I draw
her I haven't done that in years, and she said it'll be fun.
I've never touched a reefer.
I know what they want, just not sure what to do.
Well, don't inject pot.
What was her issue with her man? I was too tied up in the swinger story. What was her
He took
issue?
a management position that keeps him away
He's
from
too
home.
busy, and he
And-
told her to
and
take
she-
up ceramics, so this would be her new hobby
And
instead.
she met some people from the villages that like to swing.
The villages.
And basically, she's over there.
What was her name? Lady Chatterley?
Jess.
Yeah, again, everybody. He's single. He's right here.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like all these things could be. What's your email? How do they get a hold of you?
Jess has someone. She's married. Remember, he has a job. He's getting a promotion. He works too hard.
Yeah,
She had to get a new hobby.
I
She's
didn't
wondering, should she pursue
Her new hobby is dick. That's what her new hobby is about.
Well,
to
it's
be.
a
vagina.
yeah.
I think it's
It's a
pussy.
combo.
Take up ceramics? What the fuck? Did he want to reenact the scene from Ghost? Like, what the hell is he going for?
And
Make
dressed like
yourself-
Whoopi Goldberg.
Make yourself a nice,
God.
smooth dildo so you can.
And then you can
Get off my
fantasize about
back.
it. Yeah, there you go.
I feel
I say
like
at least go to that dinner. Go check it out.
Should she check out this couple?
So she's obviously turned on by the communication she was
sure.
having with this woman.
well, she's getting attention.
Isn't that already like
yes.
emotionally already like cheating?
Yeah,
that's a good question.
She's getting attention from another
Some strange.
source
Yes.
Some
or
strange.
whatever, and yeah, she's probably got some unsatisfied needs.
I don't know. I
that,
think you need to sit down and talk to your husband.
Yeah, again, communication here is key.
You know, you
if
can-
she hasn't talked to this guy, her husband, about these kinds of issues,
exactly.
Do you know that if you're
she's
not
gotta go get it
feeling it,
somewhere.
you can
Exactly.
finger your wife, and you can also incorporate like toys and stuff. If you really don't want to, that you're not the only person in the room.
Well, this goes
Yeah.
back to the first point. You have to fuck your women.
You gotta. You gotta use that tongue. She's
is
not that
sage.
bad, guys. After the first 10 seconds, you swallow most of the bad shit, so you just keep on licking. Why is that funny again?
You gotta get that. You gotta get that.
That's
You gotta get that surface layer off.
Oh my God.
God.
Whatever.
That's going to be the fucking title of the show. After the first 10 seconds of nastiness, just keep going, power through it. Oh, that dude,
I
that's
think that's
hilarious.
an apt description for when What's the Fuss is on the
That's
show.
horrible. I knew it.
I think Wheeler Walker Jr. said it.
Andrea, not
Stay
you.
away.
Wheeler Walker
Let's
Jr.
not talk about
said
away
it
from
best.
that
You better
stuff.
eat that pussy, boy.
I'll never do it.
Eating
I
pussy,
knew it.
kicking ass.
Village Idiot Pub. You locals know about it. You guys from out of town have to check them out.
Village Idiot Pub is now a proud sponsor with Living Podcariously and the Twisted 10 podcasts.
It's more than just about commercials, though. The cast here will be taking our show on the road to Village Idiot to record some episodes as well as hold events. They have over 30 beers on tap, including ciders and Hefeweizen, my favorite, as well as hundreds of bottle choices.
Adam, you forgot my favorite, all the delicious wine. So get your friends together and enjoy the board games, puzzles, and the giant Jenga.
Let the owner, Jason, as well as the rest of the staff there, take excellent care of your beer drinking needs.
Mention either one of our shows to the staff and get 10% off your tab.
Tuesday is open mic, Wednesday is trivia, Thursday is karaoke, Friday and Saturday night are live music.
Visit them at 4 Harrison Street, Suite 103, Cocoa, Florida, or Village Idiot Pub on Facebook. And don't forget, they are a dog-friendly location, so bring your friends, family, and fur babies.
Hey, Tech, you ever have that conversation with your girl about where to eat dinner and it always turns into that back and forth? I don't know, you pick.
Yeah, every once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got an answer for you next time that comes up.
Oh, yeah? Where at?
The Salty Fox in Melbourne off of O'Galley Boulevard.
Oh, nice. You know, I've actually been there, and the food was pretty awesome.
Hell yeah, it was. They offer a great selection of paninis, shareable appetizers, soups and salads, and one of the best desserts I've ever had, the Funky Monkey.
Oh, yeah. My favorite was the vintage options. They got this meal called ramen noodle on crack. You just got to try it out.
Done. That's definitely what I'm getting next time.
Put the fun between your legs at the Salty Fox every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. with the Oak Galley Arts District Bike Crawl.
It's a 4-mile bicycle ride down Pineapple Avenue with stops for food and beer all along the route. Be sure to visit the Salty Fox every Sunday for brunch from 11 to 4.
Hey, isn't that the $10 bottomless mimosas brunch?
Sure is. Enjoy your brunch while the Salty Fox's DJ spins throwbacks and top 40 hits.
Salty Fox is located in the downtown Oak Galley Art District on Oak Galley Boulevard.
Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/saltyfoxmelbourne or online at thesaltyfox.net.
Hey listeners, be sure to mention you heard about the Salty Fox on our show and you'll get 10% off your meals.
Hey, it's Adam. If you enjoyed the content or the cast of Living Podcariously, be sure to check out the other show we produce. It's called The Twisted 10. Each week, a host or a guest host takes over the show and brings their own unique and original top 10 list to the show. Here's a few examples. Top 10 crazy religious practices. Top 10 sexual fetishes. Twisted Guinness World Records. Top 10 possible human extinction events. And my personal favorite, top 10 best or worst infomercial products. As you can see, the content is all over the place for the show. However, it is a lot of fun to produce, and we hope you like it. As always, thanks for listening.
Then do the Harlem Shake.
And welcome back to Living Podcariously.
Woot woot.
Oh, yeah. So we just did something kind of fun this last weekend. Granted, Tack was working and Josh was out of town. And Andrea was working the event, so it was kind of me.
So you did something cool.
Me did something cool.
Sorry, buddy.
Nah, it's all right. It's all good. It turned out it worked out really well because of how the setup was out there. But Andrea had her Brent Allen 4th annual
shopping extravaganza with over 40 vendors, all different things, bath products, candles, jewelry. That lady with the, what does she do?
It looks like you're doing chopping wood.
Yeah.
Like she
jujitsu. No shit. Jujitsu. There was
Judy chops?
a 5th-time world champion jujitsu person that was there. A instructor, teacher. I don't know what you would call her.
Purses, clothes, cups that you can get monogrammed, food vendors. Oh my gosh, the food was so good at the barbecue place. You have to hear the episode to hear about that.
There's 2 girls that we're bringing on here, by the way, that sell essential oils. And their product is cool. So their product is nice if you like oils and diffusers and stuff like that.
You have a little sample right there. You can pass around the room.
I have lavender. You'll smell it, Jack?
Sure.
All right, you ready?
It'll calm you.
This is like the proverbial keys for
we didn't
Twisted
do that
Don't
for
break it. It's
Jimmy.
glass.
Ready? All right, here
It's
goes.
pressure.
Pay attention.
Okay. I can't.
I'm so scared.
It disappeared.
Jimmy
Yeah,
might
that's
have
lavender.
wanted to smell your lavender.
It's a shame you don't have
too.
glasses.
This is
That's
the.
It's like, I can't see. We have glass on your head.
Well, no, like it disappeared in the black.
Why has it got to be black?
Yeah,
This is
that
the
was
cutest
racist.
little bottle I've ever seen.
The
Open it up,
girls
smell
were
it.
pretty cute too.
Is it pop off or twist?
Twist.
Twist.
So the girls gave us that to put on Oliver to help keep fleas away. Lavender is supposed to be good for animals.
It's a pure oil.
Tack, these 2 are a fucking riot together. They're
Are they
hilarious.
Hot? Are they hot? Can I say that?
Yeah, they're good looking. I don't know their statuses, but yeah, they're good.
Can I
didn't
say
wanna-
that?
I didn't
Like, that's
wanna-
ever stopped you in the
If
past?
we bring them in here, don't you be hitting on them. Well, too much. You can hit on them a little bit, but if they give you that
Jimmy, do you want
sign,
to see the little bottle?
Sure. It looks like something drugs come in.
Well, all the we also had the SPCA there, and a lot of the money that we had when we had drawings for prizes and stuff went towards the puppies and the kitties.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
they had an animal you
Yeah.
could actually adopt there at her event as well, which was really cool.
An
Adam.
animal? What was it?
A dog. They had a puppy of some kind. I don't know what it was. I wasn't really paying attention to the
Should have
animals.
been there. You would have seen what it was.
But we did. So
crazy.
we did a bonus recording where. All right. So right here in the light from Oliver, all that I see is his entire tail and ass and area lit up from the Christmas light LED or
Got a
lasers.
Sparkly hiney.
That is fucking hilarious.
Me too, and it's pointed at me.
All right. Anyway, so we've got a bonus episode that's going to be releasing later after this episode a little bit, where I sit down with a lot of the vendors that were there to listen to some of their products and just hear some of the cool stories that they've got, and it was really good. We, by the way, Duncan J came out there, a local comic in the area, so he came out, got on mic a little bit with me, and
Cool.
shot some shit for a little bit. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good little event, and we want to help Brent Allen out next year with it, maybe a little bit more in force, where we actually make it a listener event and we do something and have our listeners come out and participate or whatever. And the services there are not just for girls. So think, and I know a lot of guys are sometimes afraid of the term salon or spa. It's very, I don't know, non-masculine. However, that spa and that salon is, you go in there, get a haircut. Like Amber has a ton of guy clients and Andrea's got a few as well. Lots of guys now go in for pedicures, which is something I didn't know that they did.
Well, who wouldn't want to have a pretty girl rubbing your feet and your legs?
Andrea wears a lot of low-cut shirts too, Tack, so... Just saying.
And she charges by the hour. Just saying.
It's beneficial.
It is an hour for a pedicure. You're so right, yeah. So we had this event, and Tack had to work and everything, but Josh, where were you?
Oh, I was out on a cruise.
A cruise?
What?
I was
like
down-
the segue,
I was
the
down-
segue.
Yeah, she's on point. That's two, like right in a row. That's good. No, I just got back from a week-long cruise, and it was amazing.
Where'd you go?
I went
Out of the
On
port?
a boat?
Out of Port Canaveral or out of Miami?
No, we went out of Miami. We are on the Norwegian Getaway, which Norwegian Cruise Lines, they were new to me last year, one of my first Norwegian cruise last year, and it completely changed my favorite cruise line. I don't have a reason at all to cruise on any other line.
Really?
What was your favorite
Wow.
before? Just out of curiosity.
Royal Caribbean.
Okay.
Royal Caribbean.
That's the one
my
I did. Was
favorite.
yeah.
And I don't say that.
The
I-
ships are
yeah, the
huge.
ships are fucking
Huge.
massive.
So much to do, and it's so you feel like a queen.
Yeah, and they're like,
I did
like,
feel
people
like a
remember your
queen.
names. Like,
Well, they're paid for that. They
Oh,
I
for
like
sure,
it
for
though,
sure.
but
And-
I like they take that step to do that.
But yeah, I
Makes
gotta
it
say,
special.
like, some like major takeaways from this cruise. On the crazy, bizarre off chance that he may ever hear it, I want to give a shout out to Andre, the cruise director. Coolest cruise director I've ever hung out with. Like, it was my mom's birthday, and she was there, and like he came over and like personally was like, "Hey, I heard it was your birthday. Your son-in-law told me, hey, happy
Oh, that's
birthday."
cool.
And I heard you're turning 50. He asked me to roast you, and I would love to. Which, by the way, so this guy.
By the way, happy birthday, Mrs. Wilson.
Exactly. Yep. Happy birthday,
Happy
Mom. She turned 50.
birthday.
Turned 50 on the 2nd. It was a big one for her.
She's young. Jimmy, aren't you almost?
She's
50?
married, Tack.
You're almost 50, right?
43, yeah.
And
She hot?
coincidentally, Zach, also celebrating their 30-year anniversary
You
this
two
year.
kind of look alike. Sorry, just anyway, go ahead.
But no, it was he talked shit the whole time. Like,
Who did?
the cruise director, Andre.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he would go up and they do like the newlywed show, and he just laughed at like the guy who just got married 2 days prior, and he's like, if you had to pick a second wife, who would it be?
Oh,
And would just
damn.
like would not let him out, and he was like really uncomfortable. And so one of the questions was, let me think, what's the craziest place that you've ever had sex? And I'm sorry, made whoopee. What was the craziest
Right.
place you've ever made whoopee? And his answer was in the shower on the cruise ship.
That's awesome.
But it started as here in the stateroom is the craziest place because I guess it would like always been at home in bed. That's fine. So the cruise ship was like the craziest place for this newlywed couple, which is insane to me. That's crazy.
They just got married.
But I mean, who doesn't have sex everywhere they can?
Well, maybe they didn't
no,
have
that's just
sex
me.
till they got married.
That's just me.
Listen, Andrea and I have done some pretty crazy sex things. We had, and we won't name the person whose wedding we did this at, but
At
we had
Savannah's.
what?
Sex
Oh.
We wouldn't name it.
Oh.
We had sex on the altar.
It was behind it.
Well, behind the altar, but it was on the stage where the altar was. After everybody was done, everybody was at the ceremony or whatever. It was cold, and we went out and walked by the water. It was a beautiful scenery.
Nobody thought it was during the ceremony.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I guess that's
During
true.
this, that's a bit
What am I
distracting.
snapping on?
Yeah, that one was fun.
But so so the guy was like super uncomfortable, and the cruise director like got down on a knee, like right in his face. He's sitting on a chair, gets down on a knee right in his face. He's like, "So where were you in the stateroom? Was it on the bed? Was it on the couch? On the floor? Were you on the balcony?" He's, "Oh, on the bed." Okay, were you on top of the sheets? Were you under the sheets? Was she on top? Who was on top? I need to know. This guy was like, he stopped. He shut down. He powered off during the event. Just-
Oh, really? The cruise guy took it too far, huh?
Whatever. It was hilarious.
Yeah. For everyone except that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some comics that tie in to playing the room, like focusing on people in the room. And it's great for everybody, usually except for that person.
Yeah.
It really
It's
is.
like when we saw Bill Cosby. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came out with like you could tell he was unprepared. Like he didn't have any prepared material, and he did like 30 minutes on some dude in the front row that was just sitting like he happened to, hey, what are you doing? What's your name? What do you do? And then he did like 30 minutes based on that guy.
And he kept offering this one girl a drink in the front.
Yeah.
Sure you don't want some of this?
But no, it was an amazing vacation. We hit a couple of ports, which are really cool. Hang on, I had to write them down because I have garbage memory. And then, like, I hadn't been to a couple of these before. So we went to Roatan. We went to Harvest Cay, which is like the Norwegian private island. Then we went to Costa Maya. And then we went to Cozumel.
Rowan. What is Rowan?
Roatan.
Roatan?
Roatan is...
Sounds like a type of floor.
Right?
It's beautiful. What is it? It's Roatan.
It's Roatan.
Oh, I love the new colors they have with the Roatan.
Right? Yeah.
It looks so good. It just brings out the naturalness of the Roatan.
Oh,
Roatan.
That sounds like a kind of medication. Too.
But so the ports were pretty neat. If you've ever been on a cruise,
I've never been on one before.
Really?
I'm probably the only one in this room that's never been on
It's
one.
not true, Jimmy.
on
He
like
came
3.
on a tiger cruise.
That's true. Yeah, that counts. Yeah.
He came out to see my submarine.
Oh, that's cool.
He was up there for. Was that a day one or a couple days?
Day.
Yeah, it was just day one. That's right.
Cruises are the best way to be lazy.
Yeah,
real.
totally
You
different
don't have to
experience.
find a car
Yeah, right, yeah.
to get somewhere. You don't have to find a hotel or a room. You don't have to find a
No,
restaurant.
you have to find your room. I've often got lost on the cruise
but it's
because
all
I cannot
under
find my
one
room.
roof. So, I mean, you're not like lost in a city. I mean, you could just pass out on the floor and you're still inside. So you're good
That's
to
what you're
go.
saying,
They'll drag you to your room.
They do frown on falling asleep in public spaces, though.
Or having sex.
Fuck
in
that.
them.
I'll be sitting on the balcony with my... Listen,
That's not a public space, though. I'm talking about like falling asleep on the, I don't know, outside staircase by the pool deck.
Oh, okay. All right.
For
Like
example.
why did that happen to you?
Hypothetically,
not
yeah.
this
Not that you
cruise.
know.
Oh, not this not this time.
And we got in the food too. Holy shit! It's like food for days, like 24/7.
I would hope
like
so.
And you
buffets,
can
like-
try new foods.
And
Like I
it's-
tried duck for the first time. Didn't like it. So I just went and got a steak.
Yeah,
You didn't like
it's
duck?
so
Man, the
good.
duck pasta is so
It's
good.
too gamey.
You mean it tastes like nature?
Yes.
Tastes too much like nature?
And too meaty. It's just the meatiness.
It's too
of it.
ducky. It's like
It's just you know that duckness of it.
Did you guys get involved in any of the crazy like games on the cruise, like while you're sailing, like the pool games and shit like that?
We did a few. I'll tell some stories from other cruises too, because there's a really fun one of fan, friend, family, and patron of the show, Dan.
Oh, nice.
He's done a sexy no shirt contest,
oh god.
and it's every bit as amazing as you can imagine. I'm sorry for everybody listening because they may or may not have met and seen Dan around at some of our events, but it was worth watching.
That is awesome.
Did he get totally into it?
Oh, he did. He was
Yes.
ripped his shirt
Yes.
off, danced up there like he owned it.
Did he
was
win
great.
it?
No.
Aw.
No.
There was
That's
somebody
because we
sexier.
weren't there to be cheering for him too.
You're telling me there was somebody sexier than Dan up there?
Someone had more friends on the boat than he had on
In
the
the
boat.
That's
ironic
probably it.
sense, yes.
I find that hard to.
I did on one of the cruises I went on out of Port Canaveral. I did a I didn't know what it was, but I was single at the time. I was like 19 or 20 years old. I was a young kid, and they said, "All right, we need all of the single guys." Excuse me. We need all of the single guys to come up to the dance floor. So of course, me and a couple of my buddies fucking trot right up, and then they said, "All right, we need all single ladies to stand up in the audience, so just around." And there was a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch of single girls all stood up. And they brought all of the single ladies up to the dance floor to where all the guys were. And the ladies outnumbered the guys. I don't know how they did it. They might have eliminated some of the guys.
Did they play that stupid song?
No. Hang on. This gets really
I know what
good.
you're talking about. I do weddings, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, they had the girls group around the guys. So they got like 5 girls to a guy, to a single guy at that point. And then they said, "All right, ladies, here's what we want you to do. We want you to take the guy, pick one of your cabins, one of your girl cabins, and take the guy back there and take his clothes off." So that's where this started. And then they said, and then you're going to dress him in female's clothing and put him in hair and makeup and bring him back here and show him off. And whoever has the best looking guy wins bottle of champagne for the group, like 4 or 5 bottles for the group.
That's insanity. That's
Son
amazing.
of a bitch. That was me. I won it. They dressed me up and they named me Eileen Dover was my name.
Eileen Dover.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Tight fucking dress, big old wig. Some black girl had a wig. She put it on me. They did my makeup. And hey, guess what? I fucking won that bottle for our group.
So it's official.
Did you share it with the girls?
The bottle or my body?
Either.
Yes, I did.
So how many girls was it?
In my group, like 5. It was like 4 or 5
And then
girls. So.
you, so 6 people with one bottle.
No,
so
they
you
had
didn't
a couple
even
of
get
bottles
one
for
glass.
No, they had bottles for all the participants that were in there.
Oh,
okay.
And it was
okay.
Now it's a party.
It's like
now it's a prize.
it was like brute or something. It wasn't anything that was fabulous.
Whatever.
But it was free.
That's 5 bottles each.
Right, it's
or,
free.
I mean, together.
Yeah,
Love
it was
it.
good.
That's fun now.
And I got a commemorative pin from the cruise that one of the guys stole when I dropped it in the hallway, and he thought I didn't see him pick it up. And
That's
then he
awesome.
pretended not to speak English when I addressed him. But whatever, it was a pen. I didn't give a shit.
Like an ink pen?
Yes, like an ink pen.
So, Jimmy, you said you've never been on one before, right?
Correct.
So it's you and your wife, and you have a daughter?
3 kids. Yeah.
I wasn't even
2
close.
sons and a daughter. Yeah.
Not even close. How old are they?
Son is 10.
Love it.
No, 11.
He's
How old's
11.
Jake? 11, yeah. Jim.
He's 11.
Yeah, he's 11.
Why'd you look at TAC for
Caitlin's-
confirmation on that? How old's our boy?
Caitlin's 8, and I have a son that's 1.
Nice. So you could go on like a 3-day cruise for something like $90 a head.
That's not bad.
And that's all your lodging, that's all your entertainment, that's all of your food. And you can go right here out of the port, have somebody drop you guys off. You don't have to pay for parking or anything. And that is like an entire vacation rolled into one.
Let's
And
go.
there is shit to do for
You won't even
kids.
see the kids. They'll be having so much fun.
Seriously, it's like
Yeah.
You just
can-
sold Jimmy.
you can occupy
Get rid of
all of
them.
your kids from like 5 in the morning until I think it's like 9 o'clock at night, 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
They're,
they just take your kids from you.
they're just,
Well,
they have a wristband.
I mean,
Good luck.
Jimmy, seriously? Who do you think makes your food? Make it
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
it keeps it clean and everything.
And
yeah,
then
of
you
course.
can pay extra if you want like a babysitter one night. Well, they'll come to your room while your kids are going to sleep, and
So
y'all
you
can
have
go
an
have
adult
out.
night?
Yeah, so they'll come and sit with your kids or
Well, what
sit
if
right
I want
outside
my-
the room.
No,
What if I want my
watch it.
adult night in my room? Can they come take my kids
You'd
away
be,
at night?
you'd be a real grown up and have
You'd have
sex
to
while
get
the
the
sun's up.
extra. You'd have to get the rent by the hour.
That's when you do it in public places.
Public
Yes.
places, yes.
No, they're awesome. They're absolutely my favorite way to take a vacation.
That's cool.
They're forced disconnect. There's no cell phone signal.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I mean you cut your phone off, throw it in the safe. The cruise ports, they are a lot of fun. They're cool to explore. I mean Cozumel, I've been there a few times and I still walked around for 2.5 hours at like shops and restaurants and stuff. There's just so much to see, so much to do. All of the excursions and stuff. They're pretty pricey, but it's like really cool shit. Like I've gone parasailing in St. Thomas, which is
That's cool.
Gone out and pet stingrays out in Mexico.
I rode wave runners in Haiti.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I
So-
laid on the beach mat in Haiti and just soaked up the rays and did nothing but enjoy peace and quiet.
Is Haiti an actual travel destination?
La Vedie.
They,
Really?
they
Not
make
many.
it. To,
I thought the
to where it's
Dominican
fun.
Republic side of that island was the travel destination. I thought Haiti was the impoverished side.
Well, I will.
It is.
I will
I'm not
say-
speaking insensitively. I'm literally asking the question.
So Dominican Republic is significantly nicer. It's a much nicer country. And the section of Haiti, they say it's going to Haiti, and it's really not. It is a very small section of the island that literally has a 10-foot fence wall around it with armed guards to keep Haitians out.
We keep the beautiful in. It's so beautiful.
Whoa.
I meant the beautiful.
like,
it's nice
whoa.
and
That's
clean.
racist, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the
racist.
beautiful. The ocean is nice and clean.
Oh,
it's all
gotcha,
taken care
gotcha,
of.
gotcha.
It's
But-
very touristy,
I thought
so
you
it's
meant
like
the white
perfect.
people.
But it's only that beach.
But I love that.
So for
beach.
those who
La Vedie.
may not know, my
La
wife's...
Vedie's a fantasy place.
It really is. It's not a real representation of Haiti, unfortunately. For those who do not know, my wife's family, they're all missionaries down there, so I have a first-hand account of what Haiti can really be like
The
living out.
Haitians.
The Haitians.
It's from
Haitians.
it's from Clueless.
So 4 night or 5 night, 4 day,
Seven
night.
It was
Holy
a
shit,
solid
wow.
week, Sunday to
Nice.
Sunday. Yeah. It was the coolest Christmas gift ever. We got a super great deal on it. And then, so our cabin, my preferred cabin generally is bottom of the ship, the center. It's just dark. It's a cave. I can sleep for 12 hours. I mean, if you don't bring a nightlight, the rooms can't see your hand in front of your face dark at night.
Well, I had a balcony when I was at mine,
Well,
so that's
that-
different.
it is. And that's,
Wasn't that called the stewage? Isn't that what that's called? The bottom of the deck or the bottom of the boat? The stewage?
Are you
Not
talking
the
about
sewage.
No. Like the bottom deck of the boat, like where the... All right, so think Titanic for me here.
Okay.
The-
Talking about the bilge.
I don't know. I know what a bilge pump is.
Okay,
Anyway,
what's the pump you would stick
no, I'm
down
talking
the
about the
bilge?
rooms that are at the lowest part of the boat.
Oh, I
Isn't
don't
that
know.
considered the stewage of the boat?
I have no idea.
Meh.
Oh, okay.
No.
Either way, so that's what we were after, and then we ended up getting upgraded from the 5th floor interior stateroom to the 12th floor with a balcony.
Whoa, no shit.
Yeah. So we were when we were above everything on the ship, pretty much doing anything. We were going downstairs, so it was pretty cool, and we had a great view. Steph and Dan, sister and brother-in-law, they were right next to us, and we opened up the door between our balconies, so we had a double wide balcony. And
oh, that's awesome.
yeah, so we just go out in the mornings, hang out, and they had coffee in the rooms and stuff. And
So it was you and Margaret, your wife, Steph and Dan, your sister and brother-in-law, and then your parents?
Yep.
Is that it? Is there anybody else that went?
Just 6 of us.
No other sisters or anything like that went?
Nope. It was a Wilson family vacation,
cool.
and there's just the 6 of us until you go into extended family.
That is fucking awesome. Andrea and I are thinking about doing that in January sometime.
Do it.
Thinking about going on a short
I wanna go so
weekend
bad.
cruise.
Love it.
It is a good time. I haven't been in a while.
Oh,
I
that's
want to
awesome.
go like right now. I think let's book it. They leave tomorrow, right?
Oh my God, there is a fucking podcast that, and I don't know the name of it, I'll have to go look it up. These guys do nothing on the podcast except review cruises, and they get non-stop free cruises from
I'm
all these
there.
companies.
I'll do
Really?
it. I'm there. Sign
Really?
me up.
Let's-
I'm
you fucking
gonna do it
imagine
right
that?
now.
Let's
right now.
review
Sign up.
brothels.
Let's go.
All right, on that, we're going to take a break.
I mean
look this
burger
up.
joints. I meant burger joints.
God
Brothel
damn.
burger joints,
All right, guys.
Sure, it's probably out there.
boobs and burgers.
Well, great. Sponsorship with Living Podcariously or The Twisted Tin is not just about contracts or money. We like to form relationships with those who invest in our shows.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. We only like representing companies or products that we can really get behind.
We met Kyle and Bianca from Oak and Iron Photography at an event from another sponsor of ours and immediately bonded with them because, let's face it, they're just awesome people.
Yeah, and if you came out to our Living Podcariously listener event, you may have seen them roaming around, taking some photos for us. They captured so much joy and emotion in those photos that night. It was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Now, Adam, I'm kind of a amateur photographer, so I can appreciate how difficult it really is to capture moments like that.
They shoot events of any kind, weddings, lifestyle photos like maternity, couples, families, you name it. Not only do they capture moments that your grandmama will like, but they also put that Oak and Iron personal style and spin on what would normally be considered traditional photos.
Oh yeah, that Ring of Fire shot from our event was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Their photos not only capture the raw emotions, but when looking at them later, you are transported back to that day they were taken.
You'll see it on their website. They capture, quote, the real moments for the true at heart.
Nice.
Head on over to oakandironphoto.com to check out some of their work. Also, you can click the Contact Us button and get a quote of your own.
Go and check out oakandironphoto.com and let Kyle and Bianca know you heard about them from us.
Have you seen what they've been doing in California since the water shortage? They paint the yard green.
Really?
So the dead grass looks like it's still alive.
They have that. They have those treatments here for Florida too. The guys
Do
will
they?
come out and spray. It's technically it's a fertilizer as well,
Yeah.
but it is green, so it makes it look greener.
Right.
Can I get
Anyway,
their number?
they were trying to buy
Yeah.
a silver platter for their parents' anniversary, so they call themselves the Silver Platters. And welcome back to Living Podcariously.
There you go. Oh,
Talking about the Brady Bunch.
Silver platter. So they wanted to buy a present for their
Oh,
parents.
exactly. It was a surprise.
Speaking of buying presents, it's
What?
that time of year for Christmas.
You
gift
are nailing
giving.
these segues today.
He's on fire.
So our silver platter shopping is good old Black Friday.
Black Friday. Ooh.
Fuck a Black Friday.
Right?
Thoughts, opinions, go.
Yeah,
I've
no,
never
just-
shopped on Black Friday before. Not because I don't want to. I just always work.
I've
biggest
been in a
hustle.
store on Black Friday, but not because it's Black Friday.
Do what?
I've been in a store on Black Friday, but not because it's Black Friday.
Did you buy something?
Nothing that was on sale.
Blue
really.
Tuesday?
You were still shopping on Black Friday, so that's still
true,
Black
yeah.
Friday shopping.
Black shopping. You almost said black shopping. That would have been bad.
Well, word it this way: I've never gone into a particular store on Black Friday because of a sale.
I have.
I just go there just.
Now,
to
see,
sale.
Andrea and her sister have done those crazy things. Well, they'll wait out, in front of a store at 2 a.m. in the morning for the next day's sales or some shit.
Yeah, I've never done that.
No, thank you.
I always wait till the afternoon till all the.
Never.
I don't need
all the
a
hype has calmed down.
fucking $12 spatula for $4 that bad.
No,
okay? It's not.
and then the one time I actually did go with my sister, she said I'm never allowed to go with her again because I was the worst shopper ever. Because I was complaining and bored. So no, I haven't done what
How
you
can you
said.
be bored when you have to fight your way through a store?
It was like 3 in the morning.
She's
I was
such a
tired.
badass. It's not a. She just
Oh.
like swats them off.
I was
It's not
like,
a big deal.
it's boring.
I
Like,
did go with my mom's friend
stop.
one year where I planned. I didn't drink anything at Thanksgiving, and I waited till we left about 10 o'clock that night. Made myself a big, huge cup of coffee with a bunch of Kahlua in it, and we went and I was going to get a Nintendo DS, and I had to wait in line for that. But I had fun talking to everyone, and it was a great
that's cool.
experience. By the end of the night, though, signs on the road looked like puppy dogs, and I was hallucinating a little bit. So it was fun going to sleep as the sun came up with all my treasures I found throughout the night.
That's cool.
That was the only time I went.
I'm not a fan of Black Friday shopping. It just doesn't do it for me. Amazon, for example, online shopping now, you can get the same, if not better, deals, and they're delivered. And it's
I bought a couple things off Amazon.
yeah,
That's a big
Yeah.
thing for Black Friday too. Like the online retail thing is like dramatically cutting into Black Friday.
Plus, you can do it while you're taking a shit.
Exactly. Like there's no and the
Indeed.
Black Friday. I just have to say this is the biggest hustle ever.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. There's like those deals still going on.
Well,
Like,
that and
they're still
like
there.
like Best Buy, for instance. Oh, I have a smart TV for like $100. Yeah, it's some brand I've never heard of. It. It's a piece of shit.
Westinghouse or something.
Yeah, it's gonna break in 6 months.
Or
yeah.
even they have the the doorbusters.
They do have good doorbusters.
And don't get me wrong, there are great deals if you want to do the crazy camp out like Wednesday night for a 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday deal for Black Friday. It's
Because there's only like 5 of them. So you
Black
have to.
Black
Exactly.
Friday now is a week long. It's not a single day. It's,
But for the doorbusters, yes, you would. So you'd have to really desperately want that. And I guess if you have nothing else to do,
the irony
people
behind
might
this.
pay you to do that for them.
The irony behind this is now that could be a possible job right there.
I think so. We could offer this as a new thing.
just like
What do you mean?
But, like,
we?
hold
You got
up
a
a
mouse in
second.
your pocket? Because I'm not doing this with you.
Hold up a second. So, like, let's say, okay, what's the hottest toy this year?
I don't know, Tickle Me
Probably one of
Elmo.
the-
didn't they have
probably
like
one of the
the
Nintendo.
Oh, hey, wait.
Hatchable things?
Let's try one of my Christmas presents and ask that exact question. Andrea got me an early Christmas present because of how much fun I had with Josh's when he was living here with us. She got me a Google Mini. So let's ask Google that. Okay, Google, what's the hottest Christmas present for kids this year?
Something went wrong.
What the fuck?
Try again in a few seconds.
Cool gift.
All right, let's try this again. Hey, Google, what's the most popular...
There was a glitch. Try again in a few seconds.
What the fuck, Google?
I've never heard that before. What's going on?
Hey, Google, what's the hottest Christmas present for kids this year?
Sorry, something went
All
wrong.
right, fuck her. I'm done. I am so fucking done. I don't know.
Why is it doing that?
Hey, Siri, what's the hottest
Hey,
gift
Google,
this year?
reboot.
Something went wrong. Try again in a
power
few
that shit
seconds.
off, man.
the web for what's the hottest day of this year.
Haha.
Way to go, Siri.
Siri got it wrong too.
I know.
All right,
She get it wrong, but
I'm gonna try mine.
she
too.
gave me some links. Anywho, so what I'm saying is, okay, let's just say...
Josh is going to try. We haven't tried Android.
Okay.
Hey Google, what's the #1 selling children's toy this year? I'm gonna Google like an adult. McPlay. That's not right.
McPlay.
What is that?
It's an Irish kid.
I don't. It's a McDonald's app.
That's new.
Produced with child development experts and a leading game design studio. Whatever. Go away. How did McDonald's get on my phone?
Okay, so anyway, let's just say it's Tickle Me Elmo, okay? What's happening?
that?
I I rebooted her.
Oh.
All right, let's try this again. Hey Google, what is the best-selling Christmas toy this year?
Something
Fuck
went
you.
wrong.
Fuck you. Right in the Google asshole.
Anywho, so
All right, I'm
let's
done with her.
pretend it's a Tickle Me Elmo. Andrea, this is your idea for a potential company or whatever. Okay, so let's say your job, like your job is to get Tickle Me Elmo this year. Go out on Black Friday. They have them for like
Fingerlings.
okay. I need you to get me a a fingerling they have them on $12.99 or whatever, and you have to go at midnight, and this is when they have them.
I'll give you a fingerling.
Okay, so
Well, no. I that's gonna make me interrupt my stuff.
are we role playing right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this ad lib? Are you guys
Here we go.
improving?
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay,
if I go wait for you at midnight, I'm
action.
gonna have to leave earlier. If it's for sale at midnight, I'm gonna have to
all
go
I'm
there.
telling you is the doors open at midnight, and I need to get a fingerling.
If they're on sale for $12.99, I've got to be there like 12 hours before. So I'm gonna miss all of Thanksgiving.
This is your company. I'm hiring you to do this. I don't know what your terms are.
So
Okay,
it's gonna be a 12-hour wait. So
Okay.
you have to pay me by the hour.
Holy shit. How much by the hour?
Minimum wage.
$10 an hour.
There you go.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're looking
But these
at $120.
fingerlings are $300 fingerlings.
Okay.
You must be really good.
Now, what if you get in there
the
and
best fingerling
you can't
I've ever
seem to
had.
get one?
You are guaranteed a fingerling.
Oh, I'm guaranteed one.
Yes.
Oh. What is that part of your slogan? What's your slogan for the company again?
Guaranteed a fingerling.
Always leave with a happy ending.
Fingerlings guaranteed. A fingerlinger, bing binger, banana fan of faux finger. No.
Don't do it.
Okay, my point was, like, what if you are hired to go do this and you can't get one? Like somebody beat your ass and got. That's not the fingerling promise.
All right, I'm going to try her one more time.
That isn't the fingerling promise.
Hey, Google, self-destruct.
Self-destructing in 3, 2,
Good.
1. Actually, I think I'll stick around.
All right, so we'll try her again. Now, if she knows, we know that works. Hey, Google, what's the best-selling toy this year?
My favorite toy is this virtual xylophone. It would be awesome if it could play more than one note.
She's gonna be like, it's the Google Echo or whatever the hell that thing is.
Hey, Google, what is the best-selling Christmas toy this year?
I don't think there
Turbo
is
Man.
one.
Sorry, I'm not sure how to help with that.
Fuck you.
It's
She is not
here's-
good on podcasting.
No.
The fingerlings are $14.99.
So that fingerling is going to cost
But
you
those are one of the. I wanted to get Alyssa one
All
of
right.
those.
What is a fingerling? Hang on.
$134.99.
It's an interactive baby monkey toy,
That didn't help.
and it goes on your little finger,
Is it a puppy monkey, baby?
and it blinks and talks. And
Try
It's a
saying that 3 times
fingerling
fast.
one.
Doritos.
I
That's the
gotta get
Doritos
one for
commercial.
my daughter.
No,
Oh,
that's the
I'm
Mountain Dew.
ordering one right now.
Order it now.
let's talk some more.
Wait till you're my age. You get a fingerling every time you go to the
I would
doctor.
say the Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
I think a lot of kids want the Nintendo Switch this year.
Andrea
Yes.
asks me for a fingerling every night, too.
Boom.
I want more than a finger. We're practically married.
One
think
hand.
I
That must be
am.
like 30 an hour.
Fist.
This isn't like
Fisterling.
10th grade. I want the dick, not the
Then we're gonna
finger.
make out.
Wait a
I
minute,
want the
10th grade?
dickling.
You know, I heard a
Dingling.
quote
More
recently.
like 7th grade.
I want the dingling, not the
I really don't
fingerling.
want to say who said this quote, but I heard a quote recently from a girl.
I was gonna say, I thought it was me for a second.
No,
It's your daughter. It's
no,
our,
it's
we
not
know.
my good lord. It's not my daughter. She said,
I'm leaving you for somebody else. That's the
no,
quote from some
it's-
girl you heard?
No,
Oh, sorry.
wasn't a girl I dated.
No.
Anyway, she said,
Don't put that there. I could. Come on, Tack. I can go all night. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let him talk.
He's
Yes,
gonna
ma'am.
fucking throw his mic.
Don't break your fingerling over there. Push it away.
She said, I don't know how any girl could be a lesbian out there when there's dick in this world.
That makes sense.
And I was like,
If you like dick the most.
yeah. It just shocked me a girl would say that.
No, you gotta tell us who said
Especially,
that.
I don't want to say.
Is it somebody that we would all know?
No,
Not everybody in this room would know her.
it's
but
it's
Ooh,
Tack's.
wow.
It's Tack's grandmother.
Some girls prefer nice, warm little pussies. So
Is it somebody you're related to?
Maybe.
Oh, I know who
that's
it is. Yep, I know who it is.
Who do you?
Somebody you recently went to visit.
Maybe.
Yeah. Boom. Does she listen? Does she listen
I
to
was
the podcast?
like, oh my god.
are you talking about your sister?
Yeah.
Does she listen?
No.
She should now. Now you should listen, Tax sister.
Tell her she got a cameo. She'll love it.
Does she have red hair too?
No.
Because that would be so cute.
What's her name? What's her name?
Is her name? Let's guess.
Oh, I know it.
I know, but let's guess if it's Tack and it's his sister and she has red hair.
Is
She
she
doesn't
not?
have red hair.
This one does.
Gwendolyn.
Oh, gotcha.
It has to sound like Tack. Tackasha?
So,
Keisha.
I mean, you guys all have kids. What are your kids asking for?
Nothing.
So yeah, my kid's teenager
definitely
now.
a Nintendo Switch.
He wants
most
game
expensive
money
thing.
currency. He
My
wants
son wants an
PlayStation.
Xbox One with the Forza racing pack.
Really, Forza's nice, man.
Me too.
Xbox
You
One?
want to send my way?
I'm sorry.
I thought there was like Xbox 7 now. Now everyone wants one again.
It's like it's going backwards.
They went off the rails.
That's the thing. See, PlayStation came out with PlayStation, then PlayStation.
You know what?
2,
I will make
and
this.
PlayStation 3.
I will say this for our audience out there. You know, there was another podcast here in the area that had been given a Zune H6
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
from their listeners.
Their listeners.
Hell yeah!
One of the listeners
So
got
our
one?
listeners don't like us.
I'm just saying.
Who do they have to sleep with?
Listeners, we have an H1. We've got the lowest model recorder there is.
Yeah, that's what I have. No, I was kidding.
We can
So send us an
That's
Xbox
not the one I
One.
have. I have a really nice recorder, but
give you all of our love and
I keep
admiration
it to
for
myself.
for a Zoom H6 recorder. I'm just saying.
Well, the one
Actually,
I
while
got you
you're-
last year is in the garage covered in clothes.
No, that's a mixer. It's a little different.
What
How much
about
just
that,
a recorder?
What about that one Whamadan mixer that you saw online that's got
Did you say Whamadam?
I heard
Whamadan mixer?
Whamadan.
Yeah,
that
there's
records everything on its own individual.
Yeah, I
tracks.
gotta look it up and find it again. But it was a 12 or 16 channel mixer. Everything was programmable, had tons of
I think it
extra
had motorized
features.
faders and all kinds of crazy
Yep,
shit.
and it had a built-in solid state recorder and hard drive, and then every single channel recorded to its own separate recording. So it was fucking awesome.
But you have a pretty
Right?
nice rack mounted system.
You have a pretty nice rack tag.
I thought that was Andrea.
Your rack is pretty nice.
Oh, my phone died.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
I was trying to find the question.
it's just fucking. It's video games. Then is that all your kids just want video games?
That's all my son
Which
wants.
gives me hope.
I have okay, Andrea. Maybe you can help me here.
Okay.
I have 2 teenage daughters, as you
Yeah.
know. No idea what to get them.
A Brent Allen salon and day spa gift certificate.
You should try
That
to
would be
win.
good for Alexis.
That's a plug for sure.
You should
That'd be
try
good
to
for
win.
Alexis. Jimmy, you want this?
You were excited about it. You can hit the bell too if you catch it.
That'd be for Alexis. It'd be fantastic, but not for Jasmine.
Tack's gonna put the ball
Why?
right in
Jasmine
right
doesn't
here.
like to get her
and
hair
then-
cut?
Well, she.
What
you
about
cut her hair
colored all
once.
funky colors?
That's different. Yeah.
See? She likes that stuff.
So my daughter's really simple to buy stuff for.
We could
She just wants,
ombre
like,
the
dolls and clothes. That's
bottom.
all
We
she cares
could dye
about.
the bleach all
when
the
they're
bottom.
younger, when they're
and
younger,
then so
they're
it's
easy.
blonde.
Well, she cares more about like having a shitload of stuff than to have like a couple of really nice things.
That's like Andrea.
How she
Andrea
likes
loves
to have the colors. She could do. We could do an ombre on the bottom, bleach the bottom so it's blonde, so she can go to work that way.
So how
and
much
then
is
get
this gonna
temporary
cost me?
colors to put in there.
How much is it going to cost me?
$100.
How much is it going to cost me though?
Hey Tack, let me ask you: Can you put
Oh, for you, it's $100.
can you put a price on your daughter's happiness?
That's true.
Yeah, apparently she can.
And you put a price on that. Oh, thank you, Daddy.
Thank
put a
you,
price on
Father.
That was $100 off.
I was gonna get. I wanted to because I can't figure out what to get them. They're both 18. They're almost 19. They'll be 19 next month. And so it's like I was just gonna get them a couple things, small little things, and then like $100 gift certificate and call it good to go.
When I had teenage girls, my
Makeup?
ex-marriage, I did something very similar.
Alexis, yes. Jasmine, no.
Does Jasmine like to do her nails?
No.
Does she ever paint them?
No.
Because they have that spray paint that you put on your nails, and you don't have to. You just go and then wash your hands, and your nails are painted.
Sounds like she might be interested,
what?
but she just doesn't do anything.
It sounds like magic to me. I don't know what she's just talked about.
How does it not wash off your nails?
Or has it not get on your fingers?
It gets all over your fingers, and then you wash your hands, and then it's only on your nails.
Do you first
so
coat your
let me
nail?
go back to
Great for
his
young
question
girls.
then.
Like your daughter. She's 8. That'd be perfect for
Yeah,
her.
she would love that, yeah.
Go wash your hands. Perfect.
Do you have to like base the nail with some kind of?
Oh, no, it's the only part I saw the infomercial.
There you
They
go.
sell it at CVS.
So
though.
that product is not available at Brent Allen Salon and Day Spa.
No, it's available at CVS. No, we do real nails. This
Oh,
is-
and Minecraft. Be prepared to buy Minecraft.
Or the
I'm okay with that.
next iteration of Minecraft when your kid
Seriously,
is
yeah.
old enough to play.
Does Jasmine
have you
play
guys-
games?
Have you guys ever played VR Minecraft?
What about that cute
It
thing?
changes things.
Oh, I don't know.
It's fun to like run into a
trying
cave
to,
and
she's
look
an
around.
adult now.
Oh, that's
trying
cool.
to encourage that.
A book?
She's a huge
get her
reader.
a planner.
Loves books.
Get him Google Home Minis.
Get her a Kindle.
How much are those?
$29.
Yeah, they're cheap, Tech.
Get her an ebook. Like a Kindle.
Maybe. Yeah.
They
That's
did.
fun.
I thought about that, like a Kindle of some kind, but
I mean, not one that had not like
She
a
has-
Kindle Fire or something like that, but an actual
An
Kindle.
actual Kindle for
Yeah,
books.
what's the difference? Like just
Well,
the book reader,
one's
the
basically
e-reader?
a tablet,
Yeah,
and the
tablet.
other's just an e-reader.
Well, she has an iPad, but she likes books.
Yeah, but this
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
a
Megan's the
bright
same way.
screen. It's different.
I know, but she likes books.
Yeah,
Like,
my
she's
wife's
a-
the
she's
same
a
way.
book-
She's-
She's a book collector.
When you say this, Tack holds his hands up like he's holding tits. She likes books. What?
I know it's fun to
Books.
have books, but then sometimes you just want to read other books, so it's nice to have both. If it's a book you really want, you want to hold that book, that's different.
Yeah.
But
She's
to
a
keep
collector.
going,
Like she has like the first edition, like Harry Potter.
Yeah,
like,
Megan's the same
You
way.
know, she likes to
Yeah.
collect books.
I got the book of Mythicality.
So
Yeah.
their prior lines, like I have the Paperwhite, which is like 6 versions ago at this point, but it's still.
I heard
charge
a
it,
lot
like-
of people still like those though.
Dude, I charge the thing like
Don't
once
you get
every,
internet like everywhere or something like that? It's got some kind of weird internet on it.
I'm not sure because I turn it on airplane mode if I leave the house.
okay, okay.
Just
I have
'cause
the
it
very
it
first
extends the
one.
battery life.
The very
immensely.
first Kindle that still has the keyboard on the bottom.
So I had that
Okay.
one. In fact, I gave that one to Margaret. I really liked it, and I only replaced it because she bought me the Kindle Paperwhite for Christmas. And I'm the type of person, I'll read 30 minutes an hour every night before I go to sleep. I'll charge this thing once every 3 months.
Yeah, it uses digital ink, right?
Yeah, it's one of the
Yeah,
e-ink
yeah, yeah.
screens. Yeah, so it's if she likes reading, and I'm the same way. I can appreciate collecting books, but as far as like reading books, like it is like looking at a backlit
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
book. It's amazing, and I can't read on my phone for more than maybe 20, 30 minutes, and I get
Yeah.
tired of it.
That's what I would do. Okay.
These are interested. Let me write these down. What is the name of that thing again?
Google Home, excuse me, Google Home Mini.
Ding.
Oh, sorry.
Let's ask her another question.
Ask her what Santa.
Hey, let's do the name game with Jimmy.
Jimmy, Jimmy, Bo Benny, Banana Fin.
Hey, Google,
Not
do
you.
The name game for Jimmy.
You got it. Jimmy, Jimmy, Bo Bimmy. Banana Fana Fo Fimmy. Fee Fi Mo Mimmy. Jimmy.
Jimmy, Jimmy, Bo Benny, Banana Fin, Bo Benny, me, my, mo, mini, Jimmy.
See, Google didn't dance.
Hey, Google.
What is it called? Google Home what?
Mini. MINI.
I love how she thought you needed help with that. That's awesome.
What?
N-I.
Peering into the inner thoughts and expressions of men. Women send in questions to show@livingpodcariously.com for Adam, Tack, and Jay to give brutal, honest admissions. We call this the Guyry. Guyry? Really? Hey, Tack, is that the best name we could come up with?
Yeah. Just go with it.
Aw, I think it's adorable.
Can we man up the music a little bit or something?
I got you, buddy.
All right, number 1 comes from April in Florida. What would you say guys are most insecure about?
Ooh.
Every guy is different for this answer.
You know, how about this one? I'm gonna bring up something that I talked about just a few days ago. Guys are more vain than women, and we don't ever talk about it.
More vain?
What?
I would think so, yeah. Like the entire male culture is based around the same kind of thing, same like this idea of machismo.
I think I
can see
need
that.
more.
I think I
need
can
more.
see what you're saying. The bravado of being male.
Yeah.
Okay, not necessarily on looks or attire or clothing or things like that, but just in general with machismo or alpha style or alpha characteristics. So you're talking about?
Yeah. Came up just
I guess I can see it, but I don't, if I, like, for example, if I do that, I don't consciously have an effort to do that. The term of vanity, when it comes for women, I just did attack where I can't carry on into a conversation without breaking, so I can't edit the cough out. So when vanity is concerned with women, vanity is typically understood or stereotypically understood as how they look, how others perceive them, those kinds of things. And a lot of that is physical. So their makeup or their hair or their clothing or their physique or whatever. With a guy, I think I don't think at all that men are even close to women in that level of vanity, but you might be right. There might be a subconscious level of being that desired alpha figure. I guess I could see that.
Well, I think also to the same point. I think that vanity along the lines of what the girl thinks of him at the time. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important to a guy
Your attraction
for the girl
to the other person.
be impressed or the girl to like him in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super important.
yeah. So I think on those lines, yeah, I could definitely see vanity.
Tack?
What's the actual question again?
What would you say guys are most insecure
Oh,
about?
okay.
I'd say what the girl thinks.
This is a tough one.
What's your deepest, darkest secret? What are you insecure about?
Right
Ty?
now, it's about my weight. And, well, okay, it's very personal for me, too, but, like, I hate the whole red hair, freckles thing. I'm
What?
very
That's
insecure
so
about.
defining for who you are, though.
I hate it.
So dye your hair.
It's not just about dyeing your hair. You know, it's more than that. So
I would love to see Tack as just a like bleach blonde.
Or black.
Yeah, but just
I mean,
dye it like dark brown
Just black,
one day.
yeah.
I have done that once.
I have a wig upstairs.
I'm
So you want
all
to
set.
see what it looks like?
I have a wig right in the garage. I'll go get it.
No.
Hi, what's up, puppy?
He just freaked out. A flea probably bit him in the nuts.
No, I farted.
Oliver's sitting in the big leather recliner with Josh, and he just
awesome.
ripped ass so loud that he scared himself, and we thought something was wrong with him. He jumped up. Now Josh is
Jumped and ran in a circle. I can't get away from here. I can't leave all day.
that was hilarious.
Oh, 'tis the season to be giving.
That's my
Insecure, guys. Insecure. Yeah. I'll tell you.
Good
I don't know,
answer.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know the way to put this into words. So give me a second. I'm speechless. That's rare.
So are you insecure about finding words?
No.
It's green on my nose again.
Maybe ensuring that you're not letting your family and loved ones down. The insecurity of
I agree with that
filling the role that you're building for your family.
Oh,
Your
I thought they were
depends
talking
on
about during sex. That's why I said like what
Filling
the girl
the hole?
thinks. I mean, the question is this referring to like in the bedroom or is it referring to in
one.
general?
No, I just think
I don't think it doesn't
general.
Oh,
matter.
I always assumed. I was assuming it was during sex. Yeah.
I mean, that's how it started. It's kind of branched a little bit.
Yeah.
We might be getting too deep for the question. The April might have literally meant in the bedroom. We might be getting too deep for it.
That's fine. Underperforming. That's like a serious insecurity for a
Yeah.
lot of guys, right?
Yeah. Right.
But we're all like,
Yeah, same for a woman, though.
I don't agree with that.
You don't want to
ever worry that I'm
underperform.
underperforming.
I mean, that's about the only thing that could possibly stress me out in bed. Otherwise, like it's great all around.
Your girlfriend walking in if you have a mistress?
Yeah, if my girlfriend walked in while I was in bed with my wife, that'd be weird.
That would be super weird. That would you'd have to feel insecure about that.
Yeah, for sure.
What if the girl you were in bed with was a clone of your wife? Would you be cheating?
Yes, it's a
I don't
different
think so.
person.
I don't think so.
It just looks the same.
It's cloned. It's literally the same person.
No,
That
it's
depends
not.
on whether or not you tell your wife you cloned her.
All right, let's move on to number 2.
Sorry,
from
April. We didn't do very good with your question.
Bethany in Florida. I'm sure this has been asked, but what's a good gift for a guy that shows you love him? Is it more fun to get lots of small gifts or just one big one?
It depends on how big that big one is.
depends on the
Yeah.
guy too.
That's what
7
I'm
and
talking about.
3/4 of an inch?
What's that?
What?
Huh?
Yeah, I guess
Depends on the relationship.
I say don't give him anything that has to do with his job or work. You know what I mean, like it's cool to get him stuff for his desk at work, but he doesn't want something that reminds him of work, like you know
Like
what I
a
mean?
pencil?
He wants something that reminds him of you and him. So I would
Or
say
something
keep work
techie.
away from it.
Yeah,
Anything electronic, I'm in.
Yeah. Just go to Best Buy.
Yeah, that's going to be hard for someone who doesn't know. Get there.
That's difficult because, Andrea, in the past, you've bought me lots and lots of like little gifts to make lots of present opening opportunities, and then you've also bought me big presents. So I don't know. It really depends on your budget that year, and it depends on the
So you
individual
like lots of
personality.
big presents.
Yes, lots of big presents.
That's a safe one.
Yeah.
My favorites are always when my wife I mean, it's cool for her to get something that she knows I've been wanting, but it's more cool for her to go out on a limb and get me something that she wasn't sure if I'd really like or not. You know what I mean?
Okay,
To me,
good.
that's more entertaining. Yeah.
I agree.
Something you wouldn't buy for yourself, but you like
Well,
having.
that's something she thought of on her own, not anything based on something she heard me say.
So it's a surprise.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd like to just get something for Christmas. That'd be all right.
Just in general.
It's been a while for that. So,
Oh.
yeah.
We're taking your kids shopping this year.
I got you something.
Did you though?
It's in his pants.
Did I though?
I'm just kidding because I'm just referring back to this story. One year, Jimmy, like several years ago, was like, "Hey, I ordered
This
you
was
stuff
like
for
before we
Christmas."
had kids.
Yeah. This is like
This is like
10
over
years
a
ago.
decade ago.
You guys are the cutest couple
Yeah, he
ever.
was like, he had said like, "Oh yeah, I ordered you some stuff."
Yeah, it's on the way, and I was too embarrassed to say it again.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, I ordered your stuff, but it hasn't come in yet. And Christmas passed, and then I still haven't gotten it.
Was that when you gave me your penis?
I still haven't got a present
that
for
was when-
Realista last
that's
year.
real.
Yeah,
What?
there's still one present from Wish that Andrea never received.
It wasn't
Alyssa.
from Wish, it was from Amazon.
Tack once gave me a molded dildo of his penis for Christmas.
That's awesome.
That is a literal statement.
That's the gift
We
that
remember-
keeps on giving.
I remember
It's
that
on my
story.
keychain. I'll show it to you later.
You told- oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Good joke.
All right, guys. Number 3 comes from Kathy in North Carolina.
North Cackalack.
My boyfriend says he will
know why I
never
said
have
that.
children. I'd really like to have kids someday. Should something like this end the relationship?
Can you say that again?
My boyfriend says he will never have children.
Okay.
I'd really like to have kids someday. Should something like this end the relationship?
Absolutely,
yes.
100%.
Well, he
yes.
won't have kids. He's a guy. Duh.
Your life goals are not in alignment.
I've broken up with 2 or 3 girls just because of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because their guys didn't want to give them kids.
Just for that, we're not sleeping together anymore.
I would say that it depends on if they are they already assuming that this is going to be a long-term relationship. If they're just still like dating and having fun, I wouldn't yet. But if they're already in the frame of mind that they're going to be together forever and he doesn't want kids, yeah, it's time to. I would say break it off now before you get too serious. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a hard thing. That's a double-edged sword. On one hand, maybe this guy is maybe this guy's absolutely head over heels in love with this girl, but he just does not want, like, to him that's his soulmate.
Yes.
And to her, maybe that he is her soulmate, but they have a disagreement on children.
Right. This is an exact scenario I was in.
This is super difficult.
It was the exact scenario I was in. I was in love with this girl. We were together, but in the long run, I didn't want kids anymore, and she did. And she didn't have any kids yet, and then we broke up.
So speaking from somebody that's gone through it, do you think it's more important or more appropriate for somebody that doesn't want kids to agree to break it off? You know what I'm saying? Like, would it be more appropriate for somebody that doesn't want kids to give in and have kids, or somebody that wants kids to not have kids because of
I think it would be a horrible thing to do. Like, I
Either
could
one?
never stay with her, and like deprive her of being a mother.
Right.
Something that she's always, because she'll resent me for it.
But I mean, it could be equally as bad if it's the other way around.
Yeah,
correct?
you
You
just-
Okay, so I
can't
just
not
wanna make sure we're
hate
on the
the
same
kid,
page.
though. Once it's born, I mean, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
That's, to answer your
Yes,
question,
of course
though,
you're going to, but you're just going to be like,
Well, you're
I really
unique
didn't want
because
to.
you have kids. You know what it's like to have kids.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
So you
not
did
somebody
the
that's
best
never
thing.
had kids before.
So break up.
That's what
Did
I would
the
say.
right
Break
thing.
up.
that's what we did. We went our separate ways. It was a mutual breakup, and she's
Plus, people
married now
change.
and has a children.
You never know.
Child,
Some
so-
years might pass, and you might come back and say, "You know what? I've changed, and I kind of want kids now."
I mean, every relationship has certain levels of compromise built into it. You have to give in on certain things to make the relationship work. That's just what you have to do as a couple. That's a big one, though. That's a big compromise that you would have to give in for on either side. For her to say, okay, I love you enough to where if you don't want kids, and I respect that, and we won't have kids, and the same thing for him. If he really doesn't want children, and that's super weird, though, to me. I mean, not that it's wrong to not want children. To me, there's always been, for people that have not wanted kids, there's something underlying there as to why they don't. They had a bad childhood or something happened.
Or they don't have money
Not
to afford
necessarily.
more. Or they already had kids.
Like Holly never wanted kids. Had
My
zero
cousin
interest.
Kelsey.
And she
never
had a
had
great
kids.
childhood. So
Well, do you
I don't
mind
know,
me?
weird.
Do you mind me asking how long you had dated?
who?
You and this girl,
Holly?
Which girl?
That wanted kids.
whichever one you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the one with the wanted kids.
Yeah.
We were together just under a year.
Okay.
That's
Do you
all right.
like kids?
How early on did you know that you didn't want kids and
course
she
I
did?
did.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Well, I'm playing ignorant for the sake of it.
Gotcha. Okay. Probably within the first few months.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
What?
Just play with the lights, I think. That's just fine.
All right. Next question.
Number 4 comes from Valerie in Kansas. I just joined a new softball team, so I've been away from home more often. My husband is so jealous of the time I'm spending with my teammates.
I've seen this porn before.
What can I do or we do to make sure he gets the time he needs with me?
Send nudes.
Of her and the girls on the softball team.
Like in the locker room?
Yeah, just locker room. Just set your Facebook Live.
I think there's a more appropriate question. Why does your husband not support you playing softball?
He gets jealous of the time.
But why is he at home? You know what I'm saying? Like, why isn't he supporting her?
Maybe they have a lot of practices together.
Yeah, but I mean...
And then going out after practice.
I mean, if it's really about him not spending time with her, then he'd be at the practices with her. That's my opinion.
Why would he go to the practices with her?
Because he wants to spend time with her, obviously.
Pregnant. Oh, you can sit on the bench and watch her practice?
Psycho!
Yeah, thank you.
Get a life.
Like, why is he here watching us? Like,
why don't they just go on a date?
That's true. You could
when she doesn't have a game or practice, go on a date.
Tech, there's a better way. He could still go to the practices. He could just get a white panel van, put a dark window in it, and then watch from across the way with a camera or something. You got to have a camera to see that far.
Yeah,
just to make sure that she's okay.
Tell him to get a fucking hobby. Good lord,
that's what I'm saying. Like, get a hobby with.
She has
with
one
team.
Fucking. Litter.
But she wants to know too. What can she do to spend more time with him?
Let her do her thing, and you do your own thing.
So how about this then? If the question is she's playing enough softball that her husband's becoming lonely, is what it sounds like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if she's asking what she can do, she could play less softball.
I mean, sure. But in all reality, a softball team, even if you're like a fucking professional softball team, you can't practice every day of the week. Yeah. You can't practice more than, I would guess, maybe 3 times a week and a game once a weekend, maybe? Let's say that.
Probably.
There's a lot of time in there. So something else is going on that's causing him to have jealousy issues because of the rest of the time.
This is him here.
Well, maybe they have kids and all that other stuff that takes up her other time. So just take out a chunk and get a babysitter and do something together at least one of those nights a week or twice a month or something.
That's a good recommendation. Dedicate a night, go out of your way and say, okay, Thursday nights are our date night and it's only you and I. And those are the things. That doesn't mean you're scheduling sex. Let's clarify that.
Yeah,
that just schedules dating
sex is after
time
the date.
to do things together.
But include sex in that date, just to keep it safe.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't understand getting jealous over hobby thing. I
don't either.
I have very, very little jealousy in my life, so I don't get why people get jealous over silly things like that. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It doesn't make any sense.
All right.
Do your own thing. That's your beat off time. She's gone.
Yes.
That's your porn time. That's your or fucking do something else. Start building ships and bottles. I don't know.
See, like I say that
find
because
something fun to do.
Over the years, there's been a lot of shows that like Megan directed or something that I wasn't involved in, or I was in that Megan wasn't involved in. But if it got to the point where I really missed her, I would like go run lights or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's stuff you can do if you miss your girlfriend. Just go to a practice once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
All right, number 5 is from Azriel in Florida.
Azriel.
Is she a cat?
That's an awesome name.
Pretty name, yeah.
Gargamel's cat?
Yeah.
I know what I got you, buddy.
Sorry.
Was that a sound effect on the thing?
No, that was real. Go ahead. Azriel.
How do guys feel about all the holiday stuff, songs, decorations, etc.?
I fucking love it.
It depends on the person. Yeah, this isn't a guy-girl thing. This is a person thing.
I love Christmas time.
Yeah,
I love
I do too.
all that shit.
Yeah.
I love every bit of it except for the tradition of spending money to show love.
I agree with that.
That bugs me. It's the consumer side of what the holidays become that bothers me. But every other bit of it, the songs, the actual gift giving, spending time with family, all of that stuff is great. But like 2 weeks before Christmas, fuck Walmart.
That just ties into the Thanksgiving and Black Friday thing.
It really does.
The irony of the Thursday that we spend celebrating Thanksgiving for the things that we're thankful for in our lives, and then the very next day we are the most greedy motherfuckers in the world.
And we can't even wait till the next day anymore. JCPenney's opened at 2 o'clock this year.
Yeah.
2 o'clock on Thanksgiving.
Well, lately Toys R Us have been like the outlier.
Well, that's because
You know what
they're
I'm
going
saying?
out of business.
Well, that and like when the Nintendo Mini came out, like everybody was, that morning, midnight, blah blah blah. Toys R Us is like, we're gonna wait till like 10 a.m. You know, what I mean, they were purposely waiting, and I think they did that with Black Friday as well. I don't think they were open on Thanksgiving Day.
That's good.
I think they were one of the only ones that were waiting until the next day to open, and even then they opened at like 8 o'clock in the morning or something.
It's kind of funny. Speaking of Toys R Us, Jimmy came up with a fantastic idea during last hurricane season.
Oh hell yeah! That was
People
great.
were like, we couldn't get batteries anywhere. And where does Jimmy go? The one place that nobody's going to.
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us.
I went and I was like, "Oh, you guys just got batteries in." The lady's like, "We've never sold any. Like these are the same batteries we had last week." I'm like,
No shit.
and it was completely stocked, top to bottom.
During the hurricanes.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
I'm like, "You're kidding?" And she's like, "Nobody comes here to buy
We're
batteries."
Toys R Us. Nobody comes here.
You only buy batteries if you buy a toy and you walk by the batteries like,
Exactly,
put it with
yeah,
the toy. You don't take a trip to Toys R Us to buy batteries.
That's probably Toys R Us stopped marketing to the kids and more marketing
They
to the
stopped letting
parents
kids
now.
play with them.
Right. So the biggest thing when I was a kid is to go to the toy store is to go have fun and play with toys.
Exactly, yeah.
Now you go down the aisles, you can't do shit.
Like even the Thomas the Train thing, they put a big plexiglass cage over it so
What?
nobody can touch it.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Even when Alyssa was a kid, we could still pull stuff off the shelf and play with it.
Right,
Like
yeah,
bikes
they can.
and stuff.
Well, they used to
They
have
have
like,
bikes and trains to video games.
The biggest toy store there is.
That was horrible. That was horrible.
I don't want to grow up.
well, it's like they don't even have video games
I
to
went
play
to Toys R
anymore.
Us, kid.
Like you know how they used to have like PlayStations and Xboxes. They don't even have that anymore.
There was a whole section like
Yeah, not
play
anymore. No.
games.
See, Toys R Us, if you're listening to us, we would love to have you as a sponsor, but we're also going to give you direction on how not to fail.
Well, they've changed it now. They sent out an email. The CEO of the company sent out an email last week and said that.
Sorry.
Well, he basically said that they're going to schedule like I think 2 days a month where they're going to have a shitload of toys out on the floor, and it's like for 4 hours, kids can go play with all the toys in the store.
How about
Your
do that?
kid's not going to get a
it
chance to
should
play.
be every day.
How about do that all the time?
Exactly, yeah.
Fuck it. Do it all the time.
All of their employees would quit.
But those
Pay
toys
'em
are going to
more.
be touched.
You
So
get
what
more
are they going to
business.
do with them after that day?
Put them on the clearance rack.
Donate them to shelters.
Let them play with them for the season, the month while
yeah.
it's new, the whole month, and then donate it.
Well, then from a business standpoint, if you donate it to a nonprofit, you get back on
tax
taxes.
deductible.
There you go.
And then they got to use it to market to the kids
Yeah.
for a month, so it's a win-win.
You're welcome,
We
Toys R
should
Us.
work at Toys R Us.
Right? Yeah.
Let's all quit our jobs.
I just saw a thing 2 days ago
Nice.
on the news.
What was his name? Oh, sorry.
That they were closing 25 stores before Christmas.
Wow.
The
Man.
toy store is closing 25 stores before Christmas.
That's weird.
Amazon is killing them, I'm sure. Internet.
It's their opportunity. It's Christmas time. What are they doing right now?
Was that Toys R Us or Babies R Us?
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us.
How about this one though? When was the last time you went to a Toys R Us that you felt was clean?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't
Yeah,
know what
that's
it
They
is.
took our Toys
I
R Us
haven't-
away. I don't know.
You know what though? I'll be honest. I don't mind a toy store being a little disheveled. I'm
I don't,
okay
I don't,
with
I don't
that.
mean disheveled. I mean grungy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
I actually haven't been in a Toys R Us in over probably 10 years, and it was pretty
Since
gross.
the one in
I was
Merritt
in one,
Island
like,
closed.
last week.
I was in Jacksonville when I lived in Jacksonville. It was the
Well,
last
everything
time
in
I've been to
Jacksonville's
Toys R Us.
grungy.
It's not. We painted it.
Just kidding.
Bad
Just kidding. Love you, Jacksonville listeners.
No, just
I'm a
if
little
you ever
depressed
talk
now.
shit about Jacksonville, you just say Duval for life, and then it's fine.
No, you got to go Duval. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
They take away
It's
the fun of
county,
Toys R
Duval
Us.
County.
Duval
Take
County.
away the animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese.
Although there was this one local rapper that his song
They
was
did, didn't they?
"Welcome to the dirty. All you gonna see is gold teeth and jewelry." No. Okay. He was a local Jacksonville rapper.
All right, for any listener that takes that little segment of tack rapping and remixes it, I will give you something, be it a mug or something. I'll
A
say
Brent Allen Salon and Day Spa gift certificate.
potentially.
So Andrea Joy can rub your feet, and I rub really good.
You can do it now. That's cool.
You didn't win,
They're
though.
not here.
Oh.
You just provided the content for somebody to remix.
Welcome
Just
to
send
the
that-
dirty.
Send that to
dirty.
show@livingpodcariously.com.
All you're gonna see
Thank
is
you very
gold
much.
teeth and jewelry.
All right,
Try to
guys,
get out of
that's the
that.
diary.
Is that it?
That's it.
That was
the
the best
best
gallery
gallery
ever.
ever.
Oh, guys, thank you
Good
so
job.
much. Oh, man, you guys. Oh, love you guys.
Your diary was as adorable as those little pets right there.
Oh, my babies.
Fur babies.
Oh, we're talking about all these toys. That reminded me. So what is the deal with the Hatchimals?
I don't fucking
Did I get
know.
that
That was,
right?
that was
They're
last
like-
year's thing.
Was
That
it
was last
okay.
year, yeah.
Oh, well, all right.
But I mean,
But what
I'll
was-
explain them.
What was the deal? They were like, $150 and shit like that.
They're still like that.
They're really cool. They literally hatch out of an egg and make these cool little sounds and
It's
movements
like
and stuff. And then that's it. That's all they do.
It's a bigger Furby.
One time.
What? Yeah, one time.
Do they do anything after they're out of the egg?
No, it's basically a stuffed animal that has some electronic sounds.
It's
that
a
it makes after that.
Furby. It's a different Furby.
We got one for my daughter last year.
Oh, you would know best.
And we had already had it. We went out and got it, and then she started watching YouTubes about him. She's like, "Yeah, that's stupid. I don't want that anymore." And so we ended up selling it to somebody because she didn't want it. Yeah.
Wow, really?
Wow,
Yeah,
good.
she determined it was just stupid.
Did you sell it for a lot?
No, we sold it for the same price we bought it for.
That's
Ah, well,
nice.
that's
We
good.
just didn't think it'd be right to make a profit off it. Yeah.
Well, at least like $1. I mean, you went to the store and got it.
I mean, she showed me her boobs.
Oh,
I was
okay.
kidding.
That works.
The kid? Jeez, that's weird.
Well, I mean, she wants it
Just
bad
kidding. All right, so Jimmy, talk to our audience. How can they listen to a podcast that you're working on, or anything you want to promote?
Well, Taint Funny has, how many episodes do we have?
50, 60?
I guess something like that.
We got enough. Enough to last you through your workday.
69.
I will tell you right now.
54.
I want to be on episode 69.
Taint Funny has 54 episodes.
54,
yes.
yeah.
Ooh, nice.
See, I'm like Adam. So yeah, you can check us out at Taint Funny. We also have some cool videos we've done on YouTube.
The fucking video that you guys did.
Indeed.
Eric,
my favorite
man.
is still the one. I don't remember the title of it, but it was listening to podcasting. When did you last do it? Dude, the video is so funny. Oh my
That's
god!
something,
it is so funny.
It's to raise podcast awareness.
Yeah, if you podcast at all, look up that video because you'll get a kick out of it. It's pretty funny.
We'll put a link to it in the show notes.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. And then like Eric on Taint Funny, Eric is really quiet and he just makes weird sounds and stuff. But when we put him in front of a camera, man, he's just awesome.
Yeah, he turns on.
Yeah, he does.
Definitely.
Me and my wife are working on this one. So look for A Family That Nerds Together Stays Together.
A family that nerds together stays together.
Yeah, it's about me and my nerdy family and how, like we're all into different things. My daughter's into a lot of, anime and 80s cartoons and stuff like that. And, like
Sweet.
My Little Ponies and She-Ra and stuff like that. And
Do you know how many 80s My Little Ponies my daughter has upstairs right now?
toys or videos?
Toys.
Toys, yeah.
And I have
The
a video
original 80s
on
ones.
VHS
Yeah,
that I
that's cool.
recorded in the 80s.
My daughter has original Sailor Moon dolls.
Whoa.
Ooh, I
yeah,
had
she's
those
into that too,
when I was
yeah.
young. And I had
those might be up there.
Yeah.
Dream. What was it? Moon Dreamers.
Moon Dreamers? Yeah, I think she has some. My wife, I may have
my
some of those.
Moon Dreamers.
My wife's really into like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and all that kind of stuff. My son is really into James Bond, like the old 60s James Bond
That's
stuff.
dope.
Does he dress like him every day? Because that would be adorable.
No, at MegaCon he went as the Stig from Top Gear. Yeah, that's awesome.
The stick.
The Stig.
Stig, yeah.
He's a character from Top Gear, from a
I was
TV show
just
called Top
picturing
Gear. Yeah.
a stick.
Yeah, he's into reptiles too. And so I'm more into like, Back to the Future and stuff like that. And
I
so
love Back to the
Do you
Future.
get on this? Are you guys planning to have the kids on as well, talking about some of the niches of the stuff they like?
yeah, exactly. Every time the kids are into something, we're going to ask them to come on and kind of talk about it.
That's
and,
cool.
Yeah.
Alyssa
it's pretty
would
fun,
love
yeah.
to do that.
We go to a lot of conventions.
If you ever need a guest to talk. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, Alyssa, speaking of My Little Pony kind of stuff, Alyssa plays this game called Pony Island. Have you ever heard of that before?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I think my daughter plays it.
So millions of kids play this around the world. It's an online thing. It's a little app you download, and you can microtransaction purchase, but Alyssa doesn't for the most part.
She's almost going to be on her third year.
That you know of.
Right. She is being featured by this thing. One of the ponies that she designed, and I know this is fucking boring for listeners who don't care about this. However, it's cool to me and cool to Andrea. But she designed a pony and like bred them up to a certain level to have certain characteristics, and she's being featured as one of their 12.
It's an advent calendar. It's one of the advent calendar prizes. It's number 14.
That's pretty cool.
Is Alyssa's pony.
That's awesome. So yeah, she's super proud. It's super rare to get picked to do that. So if your kids ever want some My Little Pony advice, Alyssa is the go-to be it all expert with My Little Pony.
Yeah, my kids are really into reptiles right now too. Like my son has a ball python, and my daughter has a crested gecko lizard. So.
I have a feeling if Josh and Margaret have a little girl, Josh will become a brownie. Isn't that what they're called? Brownies?
Well, now they're
Brony?
Girl
Brony?
Scouts.
like a pony, but brown.
Are you talking
Like
about
the
brownie?
men who
or-
like My Little
Oh,
Ponies.
that's
Oh yeah,
brownies.
brownie is something totally different.
Yeah.
Josh, you're going to become a brony, buddy.
A brony.
There's actually a lot of them.
You know what? I have. I'm going to say two things. One, if you look at it like an anime, it's a well put together show. Two, brony is a culture. Those dudes are weird.
It had Weird Al on it, so it's got to be kind of cool.
I'm sorry.
It had Weird Al on it, so the show's got to be
I mean,
cool.
like, one of the ponies is like a super raver. The amount of people who send me pictures of this stupid pony just dancing to rave lights.
Yeah.
Ugh. But whatever.
Alyssa would know her name too.
My daughter's getting into horror movies too.
DJ Pony.
Really?
Yeah, like I let her watch Psycho, and I let her watch World War Z, and so yeah, she watched season 1 of Walking Dead. She's on season 2 now.
You should let
So
her
I'm trying
watch the original Exorcist.
I've asked her about it, but my kids are weird. They don't like to watch things that has bad language.
Oh,
So
that
when
one's
she
full of
found
bad
out it
language.
had bad language, she doesn't want to watch it.
Oh,
That's
it's
funny.
full of bad
Alyssa
language.
used to be that way. Remember, Alyssa used to not let anyone cuss. Now she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I hear it on the bus.
There's a really good podcast also, by the way. It's the first season was called Inside Psycho, and they go behind the scenes and talk
I
about how
remember you
Psycho's
talked
made.
about that, yeah.
And then their next season, their new season, is Inside the Exorcist. They talk
Really?
about how the book was made, how it was based on Ed Gein, and then they turn over and talk about the director and how he got it made and all this, and the problems they had on set. And
all the dead
No
people.
shit.
I was
Yeah.
picturing it
Yeah.
was some sexual thing inside The Exorcist.
Gross. All right. Well, hey, look, when you drop that podcast,
Yeah.
when you like publish it, make it like publicly accessible, let us know and we'll plug the
Definitely,
hell
yeah.
out of it.
Definitely, that works. Yeah,
Very cool.
and we'll have you guys on too.
Hell yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
fun.
everybody's got a nerdy side. I don't care what they say. Everybody's
yeah.
nerdy about something.
I'm a
So,
big time nerd.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, you're a Wizard of Oz nerd. All right. Hey, is it time? Is it that time? Is it time to wrap up?
Yep.
Is that time?
Let's wrap our guests.
Another rhyme.
All right. So go check out facebook.com/living podcariously. LPGC number 2 is going to be up there by the time this is out. So you'll hear LPGC number 2 on our Patreon. LPGC stands for Living Podcariously Gentlemen's Club.
How can I become a gentleman's
And don't
club
tell
member?
me if you hear about this on the streets because I don't want to know the stories. Adam's
Andrea
telling
hates
those
these
dirty
stories.
I don't need to know.
How can I be a gentleman's club member?
If you want to be a Gentlemen's Club member, TAC, go to patreon.com/living podcariously.
Uh-huh.
Any donation is appreciated. However, to get the bonus materials, it's going to cost you $5 a month in donations.
And you know it's good because it's got to be that dirty. I don't want to hear it because I'll listen to some dirty
it's
stuff.
bad. It got real bad. The last one TAC and I recorded was pretty bad. I told the butt bead tragedy story on that episode.
Oh
We've
my
heard that on
God.
this show like 5 times.
But don't say that.
Oh, I mean,
You want to?
what did you say? Oh my goodness!
Perfect.
I'm
No,
gonna close
this-
my ears right now.
This is the original story, and it gets incredibly graphic and incredibly detailed.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check it
Sounds
out.
shitty.
Thank you very much to Clay Groves. Thank you very much to Dan and Stephanie Lynn. Thank you very much to Xavier Hamilton. Those are some of our Patreon donors, and we greatly appreciate it. Oh, we're also tossing around the idea, guys. We're thinking about releasing every episode of Living Podcariously ever, as well as every future episode, completely ad-free. Now, our sponsors certainly help us with the bills and help us with our hosting and getting better equipment in here. And we love our sponsors. We only choose sponsors that we really can get behind, the products, and take our listeners out to their locations. However, we're thinking about allowing our Patreon subscribers to pay a minimal fee, let's say $1 or $2 a month or something dirt cheap, and you get all of your Living Podcariously and also our other show, all of your Twisted 10, completely ad-free. So it would be those shows just without the commercials and only available through Patreon.
But our commercials are awesome. It's us
Our commercials are awesome. I think they're
making
great.
fun commercials.
But some people
agree.
don't. Some people don't like them. Some
well,
people
then they
aren't big
don't like
fans.
us.
Ask Jimmy. He's a skipper.
You skip our wonderful
Ron
commercials. You know how
skips
hard
commercials.
we work
I've
on
heard,
those.
Well, once you hear it,
The writing of it.
Yeah, they are very repetitive. We should just change them up. Give our
It's
sponsors some new
branding,
ones.
sir. It's branding.
Yeah, I hate watching commercials over and over and over too. You're right. Yeah, we should do a new one like at least once a month.
All right, we'll figure that out later. But we're trying to do it.
Yeah, let us know what you think about the idea. And
Yeah, if it's something you guys would be interested for, as far as our listeners are concerned, then yeah, definitely. We're also starting a new Facebook group for Living Podcariously.
Yes.
We haven't named it yet, so we're coming up with a unique name for it. But that'll be out there soon too, so it'll be more engaging for the audience.
what some podcasts are doing is they'll release the material a little bit earlier. You know what I'm saying? And so people in the gentleman's club would get it maybe like 5 days earlier or something like that because they're in the
about
gentleman's
5
club.
days, but maybe
you know what I mean? Just
2
days
You
earlier.
can't do that. He has a video game he has to play.
That's not nice.
Was it? Not?
I do like that idea, though. I like that idea, too.
It's good. Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. Well, hey, we'll toss around some ideas. If you have any recommendations for anything that you would like to receive as a Patreon pledger from Living Podcariously's cast.
Mouth hugs?
Mouth hugs would be good. Why did you scratch your dick when you said that? The weirdest thing in the world.
Well,
Yeah, that's a little strange.
I mean, not really. It's kind of expected.
You're winking at me and licking your lips.
No, that's my boyfriend, Heck.
She's going to kick your ass.
You have Jimmy.
But I'm tired of playing with him.
Go play with Josh.
I played with him for 30 years.
But yeah, just let us know. Send us an email to show@livingpodcariously.com with any of your recommendations. The show is always evolving, so we want to curtail what we do to what you guys like. So pretty simple.
Indeed, and if you want to follow us on social media, we have our Instagram page. We also have we're on Facebook as well as Twitter.
At Podcarious for all of those.
Oh yeah, at Podcarious. No, not for all of them.
Well, for
Twitter, Twitter is just at Podcarious. Sorry, but our Instagram is Living Podcariously.
Did you go Living Podcarious?
Mr. Wilson?
Here he is. Hey.
That's
So it'll
your
be
stuff.
it'll be at Living Podcariously on Facebook, and also you set up Instagram. Is it
It's Living Podcariously? Yeah,
It is Living Podcariously on
Living
Instagram.
Podcariously.
Yep, at Podcariously on
at Podcarious on Twitter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Living
Everything else is
Podcariously on
Living
Instagram.
Podcariously.
If you want to email us, not use our cool social media, show@livingpodcariously.com. If you want to call us, we have a phone number. I'm going to put it
do
out on
have
the
a
spot.
number.
What's the number?
Let's actually not do that because I
Why?
didn't pay the bill and that they dropped my number, so I got to figure out how
So
to
we gotta get a new number.
I don't know. I got to contact
What?
Skype. I might be able to get the same number back. I kind of want a new number anyway. I want something that has phonetic spelling in it.
Pizzazz to it.
Yeah, I want something that we can say, hey, call
Live Pod.
Live Pod.
867. Fuck yeah.
321 Live Pod.
All right, on that.
Man, half of this close is going to get cut out.
All right. Do we have anything else?
I don't think so.
You got to say our names.
Yeah, we'll do the closing in a second. All right, cool.
Thanks for dropping by.
On behalf of the Living Podcariously cast, guys, thank you so much for listening this week. I am Adam.
I'm Tech, and y'all come back now, you hear?
I'm Andrea Joy.
I'm Mr. Wilson.
And to our very special guest today,
I am Jimmy.
He's so special.
thank you guys so much for listening. Have a great week.
Hey, remember we had that listener event?
Yeah, our first ever listener event for Living Podcariously.
Yeah, 777, July 7th.
Giant success. In fact, we just gave Keith with the Children's Hunger Project his money from that event that we raised.
Indeed, we did. Hey, what was that beer that was donated for the event?
That was from Bug Nutty Brewery. That was called the Nutty Idiot. It was a medium-bodied lager. I don't remember the ingredients that they had in it, but man, it was good. We served 300 pours, all 300 possible pours that we could have out of their donation. We served very, very quickly that night.
Yeah, it had like an Asian flavor to it or something. It was like, I don't know what it was. It was interesting. It was cool, though. I loved it.
I think a little bit of a sesame flavor.
Yes.
I'm going to have to get that ingredient list from him. But yeah, that was really, really good. Our boy Ray Burrito also does comedy up there every third Thursday at Bug Nutty Brewery here on Merritt Island. He does the third Thursday comedy night up there.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
It's a really cool list. It's every time I've been up there, it's amazing comics.
Nice.
Andrea, did you try the beer that night?
Oh, yes. It was wonderful.
She's not a beer drinker, can you tell?
Don't say it like that.
I wasn't standing at the game all night. I had plenty of time to drink beer.
Yeah, John and the guys over at Bug Nutty certainly hooked us up. So we want to send all of our listeners, if you're looking for a good microbrew, especially in Brevard County, there's a lot of them out there, and Bug Nutty is by far one of the best.
They are located at 715 North Courtney Parkway, Merritt Island. Give them a call at 321-452-4460 or email them at manager@bugnutty.com.